Hey guys, last homework of the grading period. Let's do it. Okay, so it says find the length of the arc. So they actually want this part out there. And so since they gave it to us in feet, we know that they want our answer in feet, and they also said round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so now we know what we got to do. The radius is 11, diameter 22, circumference is 22 pi. So they don't want the whole circumference, they want a portion of this circumference. So an arc length is that portion of the circumference. And so that portion is 22 pi. Since they said they want their answer in tenths, I know I can just multiply everything together. Okay, so 315 divided by 360, enter, times 22, enter, times pi, enter. All right, I get 60.5. All right, let's do another one. This one's radius 13, diameter 26. So the circumference of this circle is 26 pi. Okay, so the arc length would be that portion to 70 out of 360 of whatever the whole circumference is. So in this problem, the circumference is 26 pi. Let's type 270 divided by 360, enter, times 26, enter, times pi, enter. I get 61.3. This one. Ooh, this one's different. So let's think about this for a minute. They said that this angle, so this is something new. These are in radians, so write that word on there. Radian is another way to measure an angle. So this is very interesting, right? If circumference equals 2 pi r, then another way of looking at measuring all the way around is all the way around is 2 pi. So if we measured in radians, that would mean all the way around is 2 pi. Okay, let's figure this out. So in a way, all the way around would not be 360 if I measured in radians. All the way around would be 2 pi. So let's do that. Okay, so radius 16, diameter 32, circumference 32 pi, right? And so what's my arc length? My arc length is whatever portion. So my portion here is 1.5 pi all over 2 pi. If all the way around, so see how that's 1.5 if all the way around was 2 pi. So this is another way of doing it, right? Times my circumference, and my circumference is 32 pi. So I have, but notice something interesting here. Maybe some students think radians are harder, but for in a mathematical way, see how these cancel. And it helps us think about the fraction of the circle in a real physical term here. So I have 1.5 over 2, and pi's cancel, and their circumference is 32 pi. Okay, so let's do it. 1.5 divided by 2, enter, times 32, enter, times pi, enter. 75.4. And that's in feet. All right, next one. They only want a little sliver, so they only want 1/6. So so you can figure out what that is. 1 divided by 6 is 1.6 repeating, oh, got that wrong, 0.16 repeating pi over 2 pi. So if all the way around is 2 pi, they only want 0.16 repeating pi's. And then we need to multiply by our circumference. All right, so what's our circumference? Well, radius 13, diameter 26, circumference 26 pi. So 0.16 repeating over 2, the pi's would cancel, times 26 pi. So let's type that in. 0.16 repeating, divide by 2, enter, times 26, enter, times pi, enter. All right, so I got 6.8. All right, what else? Well, they don't have to give you a picture, but we could redraw the picture if that helps people think here. They want the central angle to be 60 degrees and the radius 18. So no, that'd be easy enough to do. 60 over 360 times whatever the circumference is. So if the radius is 18, diameter's 36, circumference is 36 pi. So 60 divided by 360 times 36 pi. All right, so I got 18.8. Let's try another one. I've got 75 degrees, radius 16. So if the radius is 16, diameter is 32, and circumference is 32 pi. So 75 over 360 times the circumference, which is 32 pi. Let's type that in. 75 divided by 360, enter, times 32, enter, times pi, enter. 20.4. All right, now they've given it to us in 7/4 pi. So 7 divided by 4, enter, is 1.75. So this is 1.75 pi all over 2 pi times my circumference. So let's find that circumference. If radius 9, diameter 18, circumference 18 pi. So these pi's cancel. So I got 1.75 divided by 2, enter, times 18, enter, times pi, enter. 49.5. Right, now one more without my picture. So 19 divided by 12 is 1.583 repeating pi's all over 2 pi. So all the way around is 2 pi. So this is almost all the way around. And my radius is 14, so diameter 28, circumference 28 pi. So these pi's cancel, and I've just got to type that in. So 1.583 repeating, divide by 2, enter, times 28, enter, times pi, enter. Sweet. Ooh, now they say find the length of the arc, don't round. Okay, this will be interesting. So radius 8, diameter 16, circumference 16 pi. All right, so 315 over 360 and times 16 pi. So what do we do now? I'm not supposed to round. So that usually means leave it in terms of pi. So let's figure out what is 315 times 16 divided by 360. So what's 315 divided by 360, enter, times 16, enter, it's 14. Okay, so this is actually, I typed in 315 divided by 360 times 16, and then I didn't multiply by pi. So all this stuff is actually equal to 14. So my answer is 14 pi. Let's look at the next one. Radius 19, diameter 38, circumference 38 pi. So 150 over 360 times the circumference, 38 pi. let's do the same thing. Let's see if 150 divided by 360 times another 38 would give us a whole number. And if it doesn't give us a whole number, we can use that number to figure out the number it is. So 150 divided by 360, enter, times 38, enter. Oh, I'm getting a fraction. Yucky, right? So what is the decimal? Yeah. Let's look at this again. 150 divided by 360, enter, times 38, enter. Yeah, I get the same thing. So if I turn this into a decimal, I get 601.6 repeating pi. So this would be a possible answer. I think a better answer would be 601, and that's actually the number 2/3, right? So even better is if I multiplied this times 601 and added the 2. So 601 times 3 plus another 2. So, oh boy, that's a doozy of an answer, isn't it? Oh, wait, I did something wrong there. I ended up double multiplying here, so sorry about that. Let me fix that. All right. I divide that, and I get 95/6, or 95 divided by 6. Let me get down to my answer. 95 divided by 6, I get 15. There we go. I get 15.83 repeating. So in this calculator, it actually tells me it's 95/6 pi. Okay? For some reason, then I multiplied another pi, so it got confusing. Check out the next video for the rest of the worksheet.